My name is Owen Martin with Olivia, Brady, Savannah, and Trayvon, and this is the Holocaust Book Club podcast.
Throughout the Holocaust, many people were separated from their families through concentration camps or death. Some families reunited in the end, but many did not. They all did their best to stick together because their families were their only light in the darkness during the Holocaust.
Family was important during this dark time in history because that was all people had left. Everything else had been taken away from them. For example, their names, homes, belongings, friends, and dignity. They were the only thing left to help them through the Holocaust.
In our books Night by Eli Wiesel and Upon the Head of the Goat by Aranka Siegel, we saw that family was important to the main characters. We will be discussing the theme of these two books, family sticking together, and relating it to a real-life event.
Additionally, we will be discussing how these people found light in the darkness. But first, we need to tell you about what happened in the books.
In Night, Eli found strength in the company of his father. He is separated from his family while being sent to the concentration camps. He was able to find strength in his father, which kept them both alive. When his father died, however, Eli did not know how to feel. He was ready to give up.
In Upon the Head of the Goat, Piri's light in the darkness was her family. Piri and her family faced many hardships during the Holocaust. They slowly had all their belongings taken away from them, but they never left each other's sides. When Piri and her family were moved to the ghetto, she wasn't separated from her family. This helped her family to stay strong.
In Night, the quote, "Naturally, we refuse to be separated," relates to our theme, family.
So I think it sort of shows how Eli didn't want to be separated from his father. Like, they just wanted to stick together throughout the entire experience. And without his father being by his side, I think he wouldn't have gotten through it as well as he did.
This quote shows how Eli's light in the darkness was his father and helped him survive longer during the Holocaust.
This theme also shows up in the book Upon the Head of the Goat.
In the book Upon the Head of the Goat on page 86, it says, "You are fooling yourself. They are your neighbors, but only you can feel your own pain." I think this relates to family because family are the only people that know how you're feeling.
This kind of shows how family has to stick together.
It also shows light in the darkness, like their family was Piri's light in the darkness throughout the whole book.
Another quote from Night from page 105. "I knew that I was no longer arguing with him, but with death itself, with death that he had already chosen."
This just shows a really loss of faith and how people during the Holocaust really needed their families to support them through it because they were just losing faith. They were like, nothing is going to fix this. This is never going to end.
And in this quote, Eli was arguing with his dad to stay alive.
On page 164 of Upon the Head of the Goat, it says, "Closing my eyes at the end of the first day in the ghetto, I told myself that the five of us were still together, and that was the most important thing."
This shows that family truly was the most important thing because even though they were going through like one of the worst times in history, they still had their family to make things better.
These events relate to deportation happening in America right now. Families are being separated while being deported and sent out of the country. Although they are separated, the only thing they want is to be together with their family. This is also apparent in both of our books.
Deportation is a terrible thing and results in families being separated and children being taken away from their parents. In the Holocaust, many children were separated from their parents and had to go through it alone. Family separation is causing a lot of trouble for both children and parents.
We ourselves could never imagine being separated from our family. The fact that it continuously happens through history breaks our hearts, and we hope people will never cause it to happen again.
Let's recap. The theme of our two books was family sticking together. Throughout each book, Piri and Eli were with their family, who helped them get through the darkness of the Holocaust. The quotes we talked about textually connect the two books to the theme. The quotes showed what people living during the Holocaust were thinking and feeling.
In both books, finding light in the darkness was also a reoccurring theme. Their families were their light that guided them through the darkness of the Holocaust.
These books have taught us many things, but especially that family is incredibly important and should not be taken for granted.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Holocaust Book Club podcast.